Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Off the Record with
Judah
and Kirk. Today, we're going to be talking about DCKO 3.
We are.
So this week, actually, we have two live releases. We just recorded yesterday's video for you guys, the Starfleet Academy one, and now we are immediately on to the next current thing, DCKO 3.
Number 3, yeah. So we had a really fun one in this chapter, which is entitled No Mercy, this third issue, which is from Scott Snyder. Been writing all of them. But we also have a co-writer on this one, Joshua Williamson, and two artists, not just Javi Fernandez, like the first issue. It has Javi Fernandez as the main artist and Zermanico on the interludes, which I'm pretty sure the interludes is when they're cutting away to their visions. I think that's where the art's different. I couldn't really detect it. There are two artists. I'm looking at this credits. I'm like, there's two artists on this book? Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't, I didn't track that. But Kirk, what are your thoughts on this third issue? Just overall, we're going to go through it chronologically, going back and forth. Yeah. But overall,
it was good. Really good continuation of the storyline we've been following so far in number 1, number 2, and Fight Month as well. Yeah. And I know you and Gabe in your comic stack, which everybody should go watch, have also talked about a couple of the other tie-ins and Night Fight and things like that. Mm-hmm. And so seeing a lot of really good progression in this story. Yeah. I like where they're headed with it. I like what they're doing. I will say the ending brackets, without actually saying what they are basically what one would have expected. Yeah. Which is both exciting and maybe a little disappointing in the sense, like,
I feel like there's a
this
way
is
to
the
be
time.
Yeah,
this is the time I feel to do things that aren't normally done. Yeah. And so to have been able to see that coming is less fun, but at the same time, the way they got there, the actual story behind it all is really good. Yeah. And we will get into that, but there were a lot of really good moments in here. It was a lot of fun to kind of see the characters slowly coming to a realization a little bit towards the end of what had happened in the outside world and things like that. But that might be getting a little too far into the weeds there. So Judah, what are your overall thoughts?
I thought that this may be the best issue of this event so far, right? And I really liked issue 1, and I was like being cautious about issue 2, and Fight Month was like some really good stuff in there, and then some teetering okay stuff. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm worried. We're going into the last third of this event with, this is basically the end of Act 2.
Because we'll have this one that we're about to go over in detail, number 3. We'll also have the new stuff that they mentioned.
Boss Battle.
Which
is the most closely connected to the tournament of any other DCKO tie-in. Yes. So it's kind of like they're saying it's not essential for the main story, but it's kind of a part of the event anyway. Which is
I feel like it's something that you kind of would need to actually read through.
Because it's about the training for the final round.
Yeah, and then we'll have number 4, which is the last one?
No, then we have number 5 at the beginning of March. Okay. So this is the end of Act 2. Yeah. This is the closing of the chapter. We're going into the end game of this event, basically. Mm-hmm. So I was not expecting it to exceed my expectations. Yeah. Because I had high expectations. This exceeded my expectations. Yeah. This is really good. The art in here from both Javi Fernandez and Zermanico, excellent. Mm-hmm. This art is fantastic. There's so many great moments. We're about to dig into them, but I thoroughly enjoyed this. And I know I read it with Gabe. I also saw Kirk read it. We all had reactions. Mm-hmm. For the most part, I think we all thoroughly enjoyed it, minus some small nitpicks. But it's crazy to be in the middle of an event and like Absolute Power, which is the last real DC event. The end was ooh, the end happened, and that was a cool ending. But the rest of the event for me, and I know you haven't read it yet, Kirk, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. You can go read it. You already basically know what happens in the end. The rest of the event is oh, it's middling. You know what I mean? It's I guess, it's maybe 3 stars out of 5. It's not really. But this, boy oh boy, is excellent. Yeah. All right. So, starting out, going into the plot a little bit. So, spoilers, people.
Massive spoilers. Yeah, but actually, before we get into the plot, I want to give you a quick reminder early on in the video this time to subscribe, ring the notification bell, because we have a lot of things coming out. Some weeks, like this week, for example, we have 4 videos coming out instead of the usual 3. Yeah. And follow us over on _JK on Instagram. We've got some things going up on there. Even one story that is completely exclusive to that, thanks to Judah.
And it will be turned into a reel? I may promise you that.
We'll talk about that behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I may have to veto, but it is at least a story.
Yeah.
And so make sure you're following over there for whenever something like that pops up.
And
I can't actually. I will make it a permanent story thing and whatever the highlights or whatever they do on Instagram is called. So even past the 24 hours, which is when this will go out, you can go and watch that if you would like to. But
leave a comment down below if you read DCKO 3 or any of DCKO with your thoughts on the event. We had a lovely theory from a user on our last DCKO video, and we really enjoyed that. So if you have any theories, we'd love to hear those in the comments down below. And
we do know that there's about, as of recording, 130 or so monthly listeners. So if you are one of those who is not subscribed quite yet, I would obviously recommend that you do subscribe, because I think we talk about some fun things on here.
Yeah,
so
110%.
Please do that, and let's get into the story now, Judah.
Yeah. So we're in Superman's mind, and they're all of the people that are remaining in the tournament are given a vision of what their perfect remade world looks like, which is interesting because as of up until the end of DCKO 2, Superman didn't want to change the world. Really. Yeah, he wanted to make it exactly back the way it was. Yeah. Right. And that can't happen, which we as the audience know after the end of Fight Month. He doesn't know that yet. But in this dream, you start to see like the Heart of Apocalypse is getting to him a little bit by like playing into what he wants, like what his vision really is. And you get to see this like utopian world where humanity and every single alien are living and thriving, and they're having children, and everyone's happy, and everyone has meaningful work, and everyone is safe. And whose world is it? It's Superman's, right? So Superman wakes up from his dream. He gets confronted by Lex. Lord knows what kind of dream Lex had. Yeah. You know, it could be very interesting. We don't know where we're going to take his dream. But then we get a little hint about what everyone's dream was, which my favorite one was all of them are like pretty descriptive, and you're like, oh, that would be an interesting world. Yeah. And then Joker's is a black laughing void. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd love to live there.
I'd love to live in a black laughing void. It'd be my favorite reality to live in.
Exactly.
It would just be the best. But after this, we get to see the heroes and villains interact, and then the Heart of Apocalypse tells us what's going to happen in this round.
Yeah. And we have thoroughly enjoyed the creativity on display in creating these new scenarios that the heroes and villains have to kind of work through for their fights. It's not literally like they just get in a ring and punch each other until one of them's dead. Yeah. It's...
Well, there was one round of that.
There was one with Lobo and Wonder Woman, right? Yeah. But that's because they specifically chose it. Yeah. But overall, they've been doing some more interesting things with it. Yes. And this is another one of those where they say, hey, you know all those previous competitors? Well, they're not dead. They're just frozen. Yeah. So how about you pick one of them?
Except tag team. The person who generates the most Omega energy so far, you'll never guess who that is. Who is it, Kirk?
Joker.
Joker. He gets to pick anyone from any time, any reality, any part of space. He gets to pick anyone in the multiverse, basically.
Yep.
He makes a crazy choice. We'll get to that when it happens.
We will. And I actually have a question that I need to ask you about that, too, when we get to it.
I will definitely answer it, because I have thoughts on it, and it's great. But we get to see them seeing the statues, and then the selection process begins. Cue title card. All right, what are our matchups, Kirk?
So we have, starting up at the top of the page, Guy Gardner and Hal Jordan.
Green Lanterns.
Yep. We have Superman and Shazam.
Who are taking the Green Lanterns on.
Yes. And I really like the bringing back of Shazam. At first, it's like, oh, second chance. Superman. Yeah. That's all it's about. But we'll get into
it. It has more than meaning.
Yeah. But still, regardless, because he was out so early, it is good to see Shazam in the story. Yeah. We get Lex Luthor and Supergirl is who he chooses versus Aquaman and Hawkman, which after the Fight Month issue, I am very interested in that. Like, that's really cool. I'm glad they did that. We have Wonder Woman and who's that? Big Barta?
Big Barta. One of my favorite New Gods. We got to read New Gods on this channel at some point.
I had seen that, and I know that you're constantly talking about New Gods, and so I was like, I didn't know what that is, but I know that that's something you're into. So I want to hear some of that from you. Yeah. They are going against Cyborg and
Connor Hawke.
Connor Hawke, and I have zero clue who that is.
He is Green Arrow's son? ? I think I know a good chunk about Green Arrow. I don't know all the 90s edgy stuff that happens. I know that Connor Hawke comes out of that, basically.
But that had to have been a character that was in like the original, what was it, like 64, 128, whatever it was?
Yeah, he was.
And I don't remember that because I guess I was not paying enough
attention. He was in the
attention.
background probably when he died, if we're being honest.
And then the last one is Zatanna and John Constantine.
Yay.
Love Constantine. They are going against Joker and...
Mystery Man.
Question mark. We'll get to that later. Well, and also they don't tell us where we're at in the story yet, so you don't get to know either.
Yeah.
So, Judah.
So, moving on to the next part, we get a little glimpse into the Lanterns versus Superman and Shazam, who I'm going to call the Sons of Thunder because that just sounds badass.
Yeah, that is good.
And that's also a miniseries that Superman and Shazam were in. Double reference, I guess. So, Green Lanterns and Superman and Shazam begin their fight. It's pretty great. We get to see a Howling guy back and forth. And Guy's basically like, you're not the strongest Lantern. You're not the best Lantern. But you're my friend, Hal. So that's why I picked you.
And I think that's cool.
I thought was kind of funny. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And we get to see
conflict. But it's not quite honoring Flash's sacrifice almost in the last during Fight Month, because he had specifically said, like, I think you would be a good, person in the running for King Omega. Mm-hmm. But then he says he's not actually going to pick the best person. And it's like I understand, like, going with friends.
Well, yeah.
But,
Gardner's character isn't really, like, as much as it makes sense for him to be ruthless, he's really a selfish character.
Yeah.
Like, which is interesting, because Green Lantern is all about having a lot of will, right? And they frame that with a lot of characters, like, having a lot of will to serve other people, being very selfless. Mm-hmm. Guy Gardner has a lot of will to serve himself. Yes. Right? So, like, it's really like, oh, I'm going to team up with my buddy. Like, I got to choose my buddy. Like, even if you were lined up in...
But if you're that selfish, would you not want to do whatever in your power to have all power? Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair question. That's... Of all the things I've seen that are, like, reasonable, I guess, complaints about this issue in specific, which we might dig into if we have time at the end, because I was laughing at some of them. That is, like, the most reasonable one I've heard. Yeah. And I haven't even heard that online, so, we may be first to break this to you. But,
that's why you come here to our podcast.
Yeah, I don't have a clear answer for that. It's just Guy Gardner, nearsighted, I guess. Yeah. But we get Aquaman and Hawkman versus Luthor and Supergirl, which in this little cutaway doesn't quite go Luthor's way. Yes. As Supergirl does not like the fact that he brought her back. Yeah.
And so it's interesting. It's not like whoever you pick has to be on your side thing. Like, so, you do want to pick somebody who's going to team with you. Yeah. But Luthor didn't do that. Sense so what's going to go on there? Yeah. We cut away, I believe, before we actually get to the resolution.
And then we get Barta and Wendy. I'm going to call her Wendy. Wonder Woman. Barta and Wendy versus Cyborg and Connor Hawke, who are the Titans, basically. That's why I picked Connor Hawke, is like Titans member.
Yeah, okay.
So we get to see them cut away to Zatanna and John Constantine. And basically they're like, hey, Joker, who'd you bring? He's like, oh, me. I like someone who loves to laugh. And the next page reveals the Batman who laughs. Yeah. Which is a fake out.
Which is a crazy reveal,
Crazy fake out, because it's a Scott Snyder book, and Scott Snyder loves putting the Batman who laughs in any of his events for no apparent reason whatsoever at all. Yeah. Just for funsies. I don't know why.
And here we are with it.
And here we are. He appears. They chain up the Batman who laughs, and he's like, old friend, let's reveal who you really are.
Yeah. Constantine, I believe, is the one who said that didn't seem quite right.
That didn't seem quite right, yeah. So he says, what's better than a king and emperor? And it cuts to Emperor Joker holding Mixospitalik.
The point is that nobody can freaking pronounce it, because you have to also reverse pronounce it, which you definitely can't do. Yeah. But that's what my question is, actually.
Yes, your question is?
Going slightly on later.
Yes.
We get... I will actually say how this fight continues to go, just so that I don't spoil it for later. Fight, So the fight, we do get eventually Joker and Mixospitalik do take out Constantine and Zatanna. Mm-hmm. Despite their best efforts, it's kind of one-sided fight.
Just a little bit.
Mixospitalik, right? He's kind of all powerful in a lot of different ways, and so it's just not going to go their way. Yeah. And so they win. And by the end of the fight, Mxyzptlk, this is going to be so hard to transcribe, by the way. He is telling Joker, like, they had some sort of a deal or something like that. I don't quite remember. Mm-hmm. And then Joker says his name in reverse to release him. I'm wondering, because the whole setup was you can pick anybody from any universe, from your universe, from any time in your universe, anybody. You can pick literally anybody. Yeah. First of all, why would there need to be some sort of a deal to get Mxyzptlk? But then also, it would make sense that there would need to be, because Mxyzptlk, like, maybe would not necessarily have to fall in line with even...
Well, he's a fifth-dimensional imp, right? So he doesn't... my understanding, it's also why he's more powerful than, like, magic users, right?
Yeah.
Is because
it's basically technology so far advanced that it seems like magic. It's whatever that law is.
But he basically is a write-in for the author to just mess with all the characters. Like, it's like the author is a good person. So he has
for sure
all control, right? So in order to
bring him into this,
like the Heart of Apocalypse wouldn't have control over him, right?
At all. There's no way.
Yeah.
So it would have to be something that's actually a deal, which is, okay, I understand that. Then what happens that Joker is not exactly following the rules of the battle? Because theoretically, then that means anybody could have called on Mxyzptlk, right?
Well, yes, but they weren't given access to the multiverse and being able to, like, go anywhere in time and space, because they were only given access to those people before them. Outside of the Joker, no one else was given access to.
But then it still seems like, at least for the Joker, that it's not quite following the rules. And we did go over in a lot of Fight Month, there can be some bending of the rules and things like that.
Joker
but
died
I don't know.
Came back, so he's already been breaking a whole bunch of rules.
It just seems like it's a little strange. I wouldn't say it's a problem with the comics. It's not.
Mxyzptlk. And it makes sense for the Joker. And maybe it's like, we're going to understand what that deal is. Maybe we're going to see what is... Like, we see what Mixie gives Joker. I'm going to call him Mixie from now on.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
So much easier. We see what Mixie gives Joker. But we only have, like, Laughing Black Void as the universe that Joker would create. Maybe he promised Mixie that he was going to create a universe that, Mixie could have free reign over whatever Superman does, and Joker can just piss off and harass Batman the entire time. Like, you don't know what, like, he would have promised this fifth-dimensional imp. You know what I mean? So, I'd be interested to see if they bring that back up. I don't know if they will, because I think that's just kind of like saying, oh, he had to actually work a little bit to get Mixie to show up, which is consistent for Mixie's character.
Sure.
So, I'll take that as it is. But if it does, I'd be interested to see what it is.
Yeah, I would too.
And so you kind of have a conclusion of one of the 4 fights going on right now. What other fight, before we talk about the main one, which is the Superman, Shazam versus Green Lantern one, what other one do you want to take on?
Sure, I guess next? I'll talk about the Lex Luthor, Supergirl, and who were the ones that were against? Aquaman and Hawkman. So I do really like that Aquaman and Hawkman Fight Month, they fought. Yeah. And then they're fighting together now in this one. Friends. And it is Aquaman who won, or was it Hawkman who won?
Aquaman won.
Aquaman won, right.
Yeah.
And he's bringing back
his friend.
Right. I really like that. That is really cool. Especially because it's like that you have to fight each other, you have to kill each other in the tournament. That's the way it's set up. But they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And so it's, you're kind of seeing a little bit of that, like, well, sorry for killing you, kind of thing, which I'm very much in favor of. I thought it was great. And then obviously the Lex Luthor Supergirl side is kind of a major part of it.
Yeah.
Supergirl, we did already say, I believe, that she starts beating Luthor.
Yeah.
But he actually has a trick up his sleeve, and that is some weird mixture of red kryptonite, silver kryptonite, black kryptonite, and I think maybe one other as well. But it basically turns her into a big monster
black kryptonite
thing. Yeah, it turns her into a big monster thing that fights on his side.
Yes.
And
he calls it Designer K, which is
Designer K. Okay, yeah. Which Designer Kryptonite. He designed it. It's Kryptonite. I mean, that works.
It's good enough government work.
Yeah. So now, sorry to say, but they're kind of screwed.
Yeah. Brains turns out does win in a match where Luthor is outpowered by a mile by all 3 of them, because all 3 of them would fight against him. Yeah. So him using this on Supergirl. Supergirl wipes the floor with Aquaman. In the Aquaman issue, this was a problem I had until I read the Aquaman tie-in issue. In the Aquaman tie-in issue, we get a little cutaway to Aquaman and Aquaman choosing Hawkman, which is really good. I'll let you read that bit.
Oh, yes, please.
It's fantastic. But it also tells us that the Aquaman's connection with the Blue is severed due to some of the stuff that's going on in the Aquaman book, right? So he doesn't have access to the same water ability.
Yeah, because I was going to say, Supergirl also has blood that could be blood bended away.
So they have an explanation for it. It's not in this issue, which, I mean, maybe gives me a 0.15% off.
Because it could have been one page, two little box things. What are they called?
Word balloons.
Sure. That's not what I was thinking, but sure. Just they could have mentioned something about it, but didn't.
It didn't. It is in the Aquaman book. It does explain. It's like, how did Aquaman use bloodbending on Hawkman, but he couldn't do it to Supergirl? He could. Yes, he could. But he got severed from the Blue. We got Rage Monster. I'm about to say She-Hulk, not She-Hulk. Supergirl takes him out. Luthor wins that round. Yeah. And now the last round we're going to talk about before we get to the main event of this issue, in my opinion, is we are going to talk about Wonder Woman, Big Barta, Cyborg, Connor Hawk. Yeah. It's basically two fierce women versus two Teen Titans. Yeah. That's basically the fight.
And it's not exactly a complicated answer on who might win that.
Yeah, because they're kind of outpowered by Big Barta and Wonder Woman, who are in the top 5 of best fighters in the DC universe, and also
a new god, a god, versus two teens.
Yes. Exactly. And, I like it. Big Barta uses her super strength to punch Wonder Woman's bracelets. It takes them all out. It's an epic moment. The ground's cracking. Great image. They win that fight pretty easily. Yeah. And now for the main event. Yeah. So, you want to start us off, and then when we get to...
Yeah. So, the start of this, it's Superman and Shazam. Yeah. And first we're seeing, he's Superman, right? He's going to give Shazam another chance here. Yeah. Not that it's actually a chance to progress, because...
It's more like a chance to be give him some dignity back. And
right, to actually be in the fight versus squished in the first 10 seconds. Yeah. Right? And then it is... Oh, I'm totally blanking on who it's against right now.
Guy and Hal.
Guy and Hal, yes, the Lanterns. Yes. I do, again, think it's really cool that he chooses his friend, despite, what we were just talking about. I do think it's cool. And he's also, they're very sure of themselves in this fight at the beginning. They're like, oh yeah, we can totally do this. Especially with, that we have a little thing. Hal brought something. The
Black Mercy.
And I don't quite know what that is, but I do know what it does.
Yes.
And... Well, you can go into it, because I think this might be getting into more of the stuff that you want to talk about.
So, the Black Mercy is from one of my favorite, if not the greatest overall Superman story ever, which is, what do you get for the man who has everything? And the Black Mercy is a alien that latches onto you and shows you what your greatest desire looks like. Yeah.
So, and of course, we actually started this.
We started this book with the Heart of Apocalypse showing him that, right? And he got some motivation from that, bringing back Shazam. He's like, this is what I'm fighting for now, right? So, Superman, who is, let's be frank, Captain Atom had a reason for Superman to give his all against Captain Atom, right? Mm-hmm. He was more reluctant against the Green Lanterns at first, because these are his friends. These are people he's worked with his entire life. Even if Guy Gardner is a frustrating knucklehead, these are still his friends.
Yeah. And we actually do get what's a bit of a fake out, which is it says that Superman is out. What was the exact language, if you can find it?
It says Hal turned to Guy, and just like that, Clark is off the game board.
Yeah, off the game board, which bringing back right at the very beginning of issue number 1, which is them actually
playing the game.
What is it? Superman, Batman,
Wonder Woman, and Lois Lane.
Yeah, they're playing a board game.
Yeah,
and so we're
coming back
keeping
to
with that
board,
theme going on here.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah. So, but we are told that he's out. Now, when I read that, I was like, no, he's not.
There's no way. That's how he gets out.
Yeah, just like, and you're gone. And Shazam still didn't do anything.
Yeah, no. But so we get to see a glimpse into this perfect world. Superman and Lois are making food, having wine. They're having people over. them and their son and the Legion of Superheroes and Batman and other people in the background. And his parents are alive. His Kryptonian parents are alive.
Yes.
Right? And he's thriving and everyone's proud of him and he's made this world. And then cut to, he's pissed off. He breaks out of Black Mercy, which is an insane feat of strength.
Yeah.
Because some of the most powerful villains in the DC universe, like Doomsday and Mongol and characters like that, have been tethered by the Black Mercy, and that's how they're kept in prison, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that's insane. That first of all, power level through the roof now. Superman breaks out.
And that gives him a lot of motivation.
Yeah, it gives him a lot of motivation, A. And B, he knows that the Lanterns, they are going balls to the wall. So he's about to go balls to the wall. And he flies over to Shazam after Shazam punches both the Lanterns. They punch him back. Lanterns are on the ground for a little bit. Shazam is recovering. And he goes to Shazam. And you wanna do this bit?
Yeah. So he gives the reveal. Actually, I wasn't quite just bringing you back because I'm Superman and I wanted to give you another chance. It's actually because, and I didn't actually know this about Shazam.
Yeah.
He is one of the few characters who can impart their powers upon another person.
Yes.
And so he's going to combine the Shazam powers with Superman. And we get this really cool, you actually have to reorient the comic book sideways to look at it. This really cool picture of Super Shazam?
Super Shazam.
Shazam Man?
Shazam Man.
Like
Super
that.
Shazam.
Yeah.
I'm going to call him Super Shazam. He doesn't have a name yet. We should name him. I don't know what the community is calling him yet, but he's pretty dope. It is definitely, in a video game, going to be a variant costume. It's definitely like
one that everybody would want to like pay whatever amounts to get whatever they have to have that.
So seeing as he has now magic abilities, which is outside of kryptonite, Superman's other weakness is magic. Mm-hmm. So he has all of the things going for him. He's powered up as regular Superman.
Effectively unstoppable.
Yeah. And he takes out both the Green Lanterns in one punch.
Yeah. It's nothing.
And one punch. Yeah. And
we see now, like, he's kind of going all out.
He's kind of going all out. And then we cut back to, like, the board game night, right?
Yeah.
And we cut back to the board game night. And it's like, they thought Clark had quit, but it's like he's coming back. And Bruce is goading him a bit. He's like, I thought you quit, man. And he's like, you wish, Bruce. And then we see him look at Luthor, and he says Clark saw something he isn't sure he's ever seen in Luthor's eyes before. Admiration. Yes. And that was like, oh, dude, this is cool.
We know a lot of things from that. First of all, Superman going all out. Yeah. Finally. This is what Luthor's been trying to push him to in some sort of like a good guy kind of way of like
the entire time.
Like, hey, you gotta go all out because otherwise the world is screwed.
Yes.
And I may not like you on a lot of things, but your world is definitely better than Darkseid's world.
This is true.
And we know that because we have seen some of that and we've gone over the Absolute Universe. And that might come up a little bit later as well.
Yeah.
But admiration. Right?
It's
so cool. I love that was included.
I love it.
Because it's been such a long setup.
Yeah.
And now I'm so excited to see their fight.
I am too.
I cannot wait.
I can't wait either. It's going to be next level, which is great. So we get all of our 4 remaining champions, who are Joker, Lex Luthor, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And the Heart brings them out on Earth. And they're like, oh, what alternate universe Earth is this? And well, it's not an alternate universe Earth. It's their Earth. And it just so happens to be inhabited by 4 particular individuals, one of which is Booster Gold, that great guy.
Yeah. It's their friend, right?
One of their friends.
It's going to be great.
And then 3 other people. Would you like to tell the audience who the 3 other
I very much
lovely individuals are?
Absolute Batman. Absolute Wonder Woman. And I don't actually remember. Absolute Superman.
Absolute Superman.
My favorite is Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yes.
I feel like I might have to quickly go read through some of the more Absolute stuff to see what's happening. Though we have a theory.
Yes.
Do you want to share what that theory is?
Yes. So I don't think that these are the real Absolute characters. I think this is the main DC Universe's first foray into Darkseid's world. I think these are like carbon copy clone-ish characters of them that Darkseid's using as his pawns.
Or even potentially, because we know that he's like absolute, ruler over this universe of the Absolute Universe, potentially speaking, he could have like coerced, or not even coerced, but like forced. Like it is them, but it's not. They're not in control. They're completely bending to Darkseid's will, right? So, but either way, it's not like them. And so maybe you don't have to have read their stories. Maybe we won't get character moments and things like that. But regardless, we don't know for sure.
And it's exciting. And this is a fantastic issue. I am excited for this Final Four. I'm excited for the absolute characters. I'm just like, this event has got me excited.
Yeah.
And like I was excited previously with All In, but like this is this has literally got me to a next level I didn't think I would have again.
Yeah. And now having talked about it for about 30 or so minutes.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I was saying, very positive things about it. That it's very good and all that. I don't think I quite said this is the best one yet.
Yeah.
After actually being able to talk about it out loud for 30 minutes, this is the best one yet.
This
one is really good. It is. I don't know exactly what ratings I gave the other ones, but 9.5 on this one? I mean, there are very, very few things they could have done better. Yeah. There are a few things that maybe could have or should have been included, but they're minor. Yeah.
You had a nitpick about the Green Lanterns thing. Most people's nitpick, they didn't like the Supergirl monster thing.
Yeah.
And they also thought that Superman should have brought back Batman.
Which is just...
that one is, I feel like, a lot lesser.
Yeah. That's just people wanted Batman.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you have a whole entire, basically other event within the event that's just Batman. If you want just Batman, go read Night Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's...
And like, from a certain perspective, I do understand, like, he was immediately out. Like, he was supposed to be in the running, but then he was out.
Yeah.
And so this would be how he gets back into the running, but he still wouldn't be in the running, but he'd be actually in the thing, right? But, and while I do understand that, it's a very easy solution. And we kind of do get the easy solution of who wins these fights. We have Superman, we have Lex, we have Joker, and we have Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. That's the obvious answer, right? We don't need another obvious answer that, he picks Batman.
Yeah.
Like, that's not interesting.
It's not interesting.
Batman would not have helped him win against Lanterns with
in this exact
all
same
of
way.
that.
Yeah. Also, if we're gonna be honest, Batman is probably gonna be back in issue 4 and 5 of DCKO. If we're being real.
Yeah. I'm gonna trust you on that. You've read more than I have on like Night Fight and other times.
Yeah. Which we'll get to Night Fight soon. Mm-hmm. We promise. When it finishes, which is going to be before this event ends, we will do a video entirely dedicated to Night Fight.
It may have to be another one of these Sunday videos.
It may have to be another one of there's going to be a lot of these, apparently.
Yeah.
Because we got just a lot of stuff to talk about. But yes, this is great. I'm excited going forward. I'm wondering if this round is going to be... Because there's absolute characters working away. We have this last 4 remaining contestants. Is it Booster Gold plus each of the absolute characters and then one-on-ones, and then the 2 that actually like win are the ones that go on to the final? Like,
because theoretically it doesn't actually have to be like Superman and Lex Luthor fight. Now, what they've set up this whole time, I do want to see them like, they're fighting each other, and while they are fighting each other, they're talking about the events of the last little while.
Yeah.
Because that would be really interesting to see.
It would be.
But they don't actually have to do that.
They don't have to.
Because they didn't do that in issue 2, issue 1.
I mean, they didn't do that in issue 1 or 2. We didn't get a real... Well, we got challenges, right? We got the race is the first thing, and then we have the scavenger hunt. And then we have, like, Fight Month. All of them are getting rounds, and they're fighting people. And then this is tag team. So it's like...
Yeah, but it's still, more or less the one-on-one fight of the people who are pitted against each other are. They just have extra help. So it was still in that same way. I would expect that they, again, continue it in the same way. Though they don't have to. They have, the writers have given themselves an out a little bit for being what they want to being able to do what they want to do here.
Yes.
Certainly, I'm excited for whatever creative thing they're going to come up with, because so far what they've been coming up with for these has been
great.
Wonderful.
As we enter this final act,
I gave my number rating. I don't think you gave yours.
9.75.
Yeah. Okay. Basically perfect.
I have thoughts on some things that are in the background that don't really like affect the story itself, but they're just thoughts I have. Like, not including the Aquaman thing is kind of one of those.
Right.
Because it's like, you had an explanation that people would have about this complaint, but you put it in a different book.
Yeah. It could have been just one speech bubble, one sentence saying, like, I mean, this would have been so much easier if I still had whatever the thing's called, or something like that. Just any sort of reference, and then they could also put the little reference boxes that they like to do.
Yeah, and like, oh, in this issue, this is why he doesn't have... Yeah, they could do that. But outside of that, it's fantastic. You guys, if you haven't already checked out DCKO and you
what is wrong with you
and read comics, pick up DCKO. Come on, y'all. It's worth your money. It's worth your time.
Really is.
Yeah. I'm reading a lot of comics right now, and not very many of them make me... Yeah. Well, there are a lot of them that I really enjoy. Not very many of them make me want to read more comics. Mm-hmm. This makes me want to read more.
Yeah. And even if you've watched all of our videos on all of, DCKO 1, 2, now 3, as well as Fight Month and some of the tie-ins and Night Fight and things that you and Gabe have talked about so wonderfully in your Comic Stack show, which you guys should go watch because it is actually really good. I get to edit those, and it's always fun listening to what they're going to say, even if some of it's slight spoilers for me. Yeah. It's still really fun because they are very entertaining guys, so go and watch that. But what was I saying?
You're talking about...
I was talking about how awesome you two are. Yeah, I got distracted. Yeah. But no, even if you have listened through everything that we've said about all of this and you have all the spoilers that you could possibly have from our channel...
Go read it on the page.
Go actually read it.
Javi Fernandez's art, Zermanico's art.
The art is good. We cannot show you the art. Yeah. We have cover art on the thumbnails most of the time, if we can find it, in a format that actually works for us. Mm-hmm. But that's, one piece of art. It is. Over an entire booklet full of art that is wonderful, gorgeous, spectacular, so many different art styles that are amazing, and just so much creativity going into it. But then also, we don't even talk about everything that happens in these. Yeah. We give, obviously, the general structure of this person beats this person, and, this was a major thing where Superman took Shazam's powers, or was given the powers. Yeah. But you don't actually get to see the art. You don't actually get to see the build-up to that happening. You don't get to see any of that. And if you find any of what we're talking about interesting or entertaining at all, you have to go and give them your money and look at it yourself.
Yes, it is well worth it.
It is very worth it.
With that being said, highly recommend for this issue. We hear it off the record, which is done with Judah and
Kirk.
We're signing off, wishing you a good morning, a good evening, and a good night. God bless y'all. Check out DCKO. Bye-bye.
Bye.